So I have seen a number of videos about the Tughlaq Fort Rush, and they all have one thing in common. They're all doing it wrong. Today I'm going to show you the optimized, perfect version. The one that actually lets you win 300% of your games and forces your opponent to shit his pants. Let's get into it. If you do pull the Fort Rush successfully, you will be able to spawn Amir Warriors right in your opponent's face. These units have 5 ranged armor, so they can literally face tank the town center, forcing your opponent to abandon their safe food and relocate. From there, we will follow up with a forward military production to keep denying every exposed resource until your opponent has nowhere left to gather and their only option is to tap out. Start by sending 5 villagers to a straggler tree, 1 to the sheep and the rally point to sheep as well. Your starting worker elephant should scout around your gold mine before returning to it. After your 5 wood workers drop off the first 50 wood, take one of them to build a barracks and another one to build a house at the same time. These guys will go to sheep after they are done. In the meantime, your scout should go towards your enemy base, looking for an exposed gold mine or berries. Once your barracks is finished, queue 2 spearmen from it and send them straight to your opponent. Your 3 wood workers will finish the straggler tree and then start gathering from the gold mine, where your worker elephant should have already returned with 1 or 2 sheep. Now, when you have finished gathering the 100 gold you need to age up, send these 3 villagers and the elephant to the stone to start gathering for the fort. Meanwhile, keep your rally point on food until you gather enough resources to age up. At around the 315 mark, place your Dome of Faith with 3 villagers and transfer every single villager you have to the stone vein, leaving only 4 gathering food. You should also have enough wood to build a house with one of the 4 food villagers. Now, you need to pay close attention to how much stone is left in the mine. Click on the stone outcropping and watch for the number going down. Once it is a little bit past 800, drop off all the stone in your worker elephant and send your villagers toward the enemy base. At your opponent's side of the map, make sure you have been causing idle time with your spears, and also position them near the place where you want to put your fort. In this example, the woodline and the gold are pretty close to each other, so this will be the perfect place to place the keep. Now, these spears will help you defend against any units that try to fight your villagers. Immediately after aging up, start building the fort as close as possible to your enemy TC, but not so close to the TC range that your spears won't be able to protect it if your opponent tries to burn it. So in this case, this position will work just fine. Have in mind that the Amir Warriors will start losing their stats once they move a little bit further away than the keep's attack range, so you want it in a place where your warriors can still reach the enemy sheep, while not losing too many stats. Back at home, the 3 villagers that built the landmark were sent to the sheep for a total of 7, and our rally point has been on a straggler tree this whole time. This is because we need 50 wood for a worker elephant to place 4 or 5 villagers on the gold for the rest of the game. This gold will be used for healer elephants and upgrades later on. Now, after you have selected the Amir warrior commander, keep rallying these units into the enemy food. Try to kill any sheep he has under the TC if possible, so he cannot move them elsewhere. And if there are any important buildings nearby, like this village, start torching them. Also, start building a couple of archery ranges as soon as you have the wood to do so, and start producing archers non-stop. One of the best things your opponent can do in this situation is send horsemen across the map to deny your resources. So use the leftover spearmen from the Dark Age and your barracks to defend if necessary. We will also start building houses in a 4x4 grid in case we want to make a food fort later on in the game. Once the first healer elephant arrives at your fort, don't just stand there in the fort. Keep looking around your opponent's base to see where he moved his villagers. This strategy works best when you choke your opponent out of resources. When the second elephant gets here, it is time to start diving the TC. Since the 2 healer elephants will be able to heal all your units even when diving, you will be able to deal a lot of damage. And this is pretty much it. The games from this point on can be very messy, so try your best to redistribute your macro as you need. Take the outer resources like the berries and the deer, and whenever you have reached 4 healer elephants, and made all your upgrades, move a bunch of villagers to stone, so you can start working on getting your second fort back home. We will assign the food commandery to this one so we can get 240 food per minute passively. The first thing you need to do to counter this cheese is scouting. Check if your opponent opens barracks early. If they do, watch their stone mine. If you see multiple villagers gathering stone, you can safely assume the fort rush is coming. At that point, immediately shift your villagers to wood and food and drop a barracks as fast as you can. If you're already aging up, make sure you get the hardened spearmen upgrade as soon as you hit vital. Your scout is absolutely critical here. Follow the villager group that's moving out of the fort. This will tell you where the fort is going to be placed. As soon as you see where they're headed, grab almost every villager you have, leave about 4 on food to keep villager production going, and send everyone else with your spearmen to deny the foundation of the fort. Because here's the key, preventing the fort from being placed is the best possible counter. And even if your villager pool forces them to cancel and place the fort defensively back at their base, that's still a huge win for you, because they have invested in the cheese and they didn't get any value. Alright, let's get into the first game. So, we are playing here against a Sengoku Daimyo player, and here, by the way, on all 3 games, my build is not optimized yet. So, once again, don't follow this build, follow the one that I showcased at the beginning of the video. You will get much better timings. This one, I was still figuring it out, so it is not the most optimized build. So here, once again, worker elephant first goes going around. I already have 3 sheep, and then I'll make it go to the gold. And the first thing I want to do with my scout is see where his gold is. So here I know where his gold is. I also know where his berries are. And the berries are actually pretty far away. So Dark Age rushing with spearmen against Sengoku feels really good, by the way. Because he wants to go into Yatai, which are these little cards that generate food over time when they are close to food sources like deer or boar. And he goes for 2 Yatais. So one of them is here. It will generate a lot of food for him. This one here is actually being denied, and I am also denying the gold. So he cannot, if you can see up here, he was missing 2 gold to age up because he went into Yatais, which are pretty costly. So he needed to go back, and yeah, I went for 3 spearmen here, 4 spearmen actually, which is a bit too much in my opinion, but I mean, that's alright. And I can also poke the berries if I so desire. So first, I want to remain here though. I don't want to be too away from the spot where I want to put my my fort, because this spot right here is so cool. It gives me gold, it gives me deer. And once these guys start going there, this spot will give me so much resources. I can get into the deer and I can get into the gold. And because I will be missing wood, these guys can actually come into this wood right here. So pretty cool. And I will also be denying resources from my enemy. So right now he ages up almost at the same time as me, and he immediately goes into an archery range because he saw the spearmen, right? So the way to counter that is going to archers. But I am already starting to construct the fort. And by the way, try to make it this spot right here, I think is way too far. I think I should have made it probably here, because I need the men-at-arms to reach the TC. And here, let's actually look at this micro. So he kind of panics and tries to kill the fort with villagers, but I mean, it's way too late. I get 2 villagers by garrisoning my guys, and now the Amir Warriors start coming. And I mean, I think what I have seen is that if I am able to get this fort up in a really good position, it is pretty much GG. I mean, this is why I talked about the guy loses way too much stats, but I mean, it's already GG. He cannot gather from any of the deer that of the sheep that he has here, and I can also start harassing his wood. So pretty fast first game. Okay, so For the second game, we have a Macedonian Dynasty versus. Here, I fucked up. The start with Tughlaq is so hard, man. I fucked up the build so badly because you have to click so many things at the beginning. I was still kind of practicing this. But yeah, still, I'm going to get a few sheep with my worker elephant. I am going into my barracks, and my scout is looking for where my spearmen are going to attack. This guy got an amazing spawn. Back gold, back woodline, back berries, back deer. That is incredibly good. I actually kind of got like a side gold instead, and back deers and berries too. So maybe on this map this is very common, but I mean, you will see how even if my opponent has so many resources on the back, the Tughlaq Fort Rush is still going to be pretty good. Now, he sees that I'm coming with spearmen, right? So he immediately goes into an outpost to defend. But I think this is still worth it for me, because an outpost on the Dark Age is actually pretty costly. So he cannot... he already wasted his 100 wood he needed, so he needs to go into Imperial Hippodrome in order to make units. Or at least I think that's what his plan is. But because I have spearmen, even if he produces horsemen from here, my spearmen will be able to defend my my guys that are going to construct the Tughlaq fort. So here, all of his food is in the front, which is pretty amazing for us. He decided to go into this woodland, which is the closer one. So guess where my fort is going to be. So pretty much here would be the perfect position for my Tughlaq fort. By the way, never in your life try to go for a back Tughlaq fort. That is just way too slow. It is way too risky. And if you're pretty much delaying your fort and making it easy for your opponent to just grab all your villagers and destroy it once they see it. So here he gets the Hippodrome Scout. I think he might have forgot it because he's not moving it. And now I am going in with my spearmen and my villagers. So here I place my spearmen here because I know he will have probably some units, and immediately start building this thing. And the Varangian stronghold, he constructs it right in front of my fort, which is pretty bad. And I think I get one villager. Actually, I didn't get any villagers there. But my Amir Warriors immediately start denying food. So now he cannot gather from any of these 7 sheep. Actually, if I now that I think of it, you can actually start killing these sheep so he cannot move them like that. And right now my guys, because they are so close to the fort, they have 5 armor, which is completely absurd. Look at how much arrow fire they tanked before going down. So now, because he only has the scout, I think, inside the TC, I could actually go here and start denying those sheep. And by the way, you still have spearmen. So the spearman could do things like this. Like he needs to gather, he needs to start gathering from these resources on the back. So don't just stand idle with your spearmen here. Start going around your around the enemy's base. Scout where he is, because he definitely needs to move all of his economy to the back like he's doing here. He's actually doing the correct thing, which is just move your economy. And he has 7 villagers garrisoned here. Which is so much idle time and so much economic damage just from the Amir Warriors. So pretty nice. I am scaling into archery ranges as well, and I am also producing healer elephants. So never forget those 2 things. I am here watching with my spearman to see if he starts gathering food, and he actually needs to start long distance mining from these deers, which are the only ones that are protected by his outpost, and he needs to move all of his infrastructure to the back. Once my healer elephant arrives, I will be able to start hitting actually the TC and forcing him to actually fight my army, because once it arrives, I will be able to heal my Amir Warriors, and I will be able to slowly but surely start hitting at this thing. So here I think I'm way too focused on killing this stronghold. The stronghold is pretty much doing nothing right now, so I should be I don't see his villagers, by the way, but I should be actually at least scouting to see if he is moving his gathering from his villagers. So now that I think of it, a good way that he could have done to prevent this from happening is just move your sheep. Like if you move your sheep over here or over here, where the rest of your infrastructure is, he could have been gathering from then in a safer position. So take that into account when you're going against this. And now I have so many archers. I have a healer elephant. Once the second one arrives, I will start diving this thing. I could actually be going around his base looking for more damage. I knew he was not here, and I knew he was not on any of these other resources because I have my scout here. So I felt kind of confident that he was going to run out of food pretty soon. So I kind of kept my army here, but never do this. Always be active with your army. If this army were here, this this game would have already been over. But anyhow, I just go in with the army I have. And by this point I could actually just go straight to his economy, which is I think what I'm going to do right now. And once he sees the amount of units that I have, he just calls the game right then and there. For the last game, we have another Macedonian Dynasty game. Sorry for the lack of variety, by the way, but because everybody's testing out the new civs, this is the only games that I'm getting, just only DLC civs. So sorry about that, but there's pretty much nothing I can do about it. But anyhow, once again, we scout with the worker elephant. We go straight to the enemy base. I see his stone. I see his wood line. I don't see his stone, his gold yet. But because he doesn't have any resources on this side, I know that his gold should be on this side, right? Anyhow, I'm still going to scout with my scouts, and spearmen are coming. So this is the best case scenario, by the way, for your fort. The spot. So here, if I place my fort here, I would be denying gold and I would be denying his front wood line. And I would just have a wood line to mine from after my fort is completed. He would have to go into this back wood line, and the only other gold that he has is this one back here and this one here. But this one is going to be denied by my other units as well. So he is going into Imperial Hippodrome, same as the last guy. But also, I could put my fort here and deny the stone, deny this woodline, and deny this deer, which is also a pretty good choice. And I actually go for this choice in this game because I can gather from this deer. I will be able to deny this deer because I am closer to it with my units. And if I wanted to deny gold, I could just deny it with units instead. So I'm going into stone and immediately going into this spot right here. So pretty nice. Actually, let's look at the vision for 1 second. He immediately goes into a horseman, a really quick horseman, and he goes into archers too, to deny the spears. So what I do is I kite the archers back towards this way because my villagers are coming into the other side. So he now sees my villagers coming, right? But all his units are really out of position. His archers are denying the spears, and his horseman is all the way over there trying to raid. But this is the cool thing about this build. There's nothing to raid yet because all my guys are under the TC. I have a barracks that I can use in case that I wanted to go into gold, for example. I could use this barracks to produce spearmen and defend any harassment. And in the meantime, all my villagers are going to start constructing the Tughlaq Fort. So here, he starts trying to deny it with the scout. Actually, I think he probably doesn't notice this far, but his archers, look at how far away they are going, chasing my spearmen. But yeah, my spearmen already did their purpose, and now the Tughlaq Fort Rush is completed. Here, I should have put it in a much closer position, to be honest, because this is way too far. Look at the stats, how they start decreasing when they reach the TC. So -1, but they're still kind of able to kill some villagers there. So now I'm denying the gold, I am denying the food gathering under the TC, and he has to run all around his base looking for resources to gather. So now he goes into the back gold. Actually, he goes into this deer here, and I am scaling into archers right away. So really nice. He is doing what he has to do against this, is just raid into the back of my base. But like I mentioned, if you're getting raided like this, you can always produce spearmen from these barracks, to protect yourself. And yeah, right now he has so much idle time, by the way. The good thing about this build is not to kill villagers, but to force so much idle time and to force him to go into these outer resources that are very exposed. So now I start going with my archers. I still don't see that he's on this deer, by the way, but I start going around. I get cocked here just a little bit, but because my Amir Warriors are pretty close, I can still kite towards them to kind of fight this army off. So I lose a couple of archers there, but it's fine for now. And I start working on his buildings, and all of his army is here trying to take care of my Amir Warriors. And in the meantime, I see that these deer are dead, so I know that he's here. And now this is the payoff of the Fort Rush, by the way. Look at all the villagers that I am able to kill, because he needed to move out of his base. I was behind, I think, in 2 villagers, and I was able to kill, I think, 7 of his. So pretty nice. Here he needs to come quickly with his horsemen to defend, but my healer elephant is here to help out. This hippodrome radar is actually pretty strong, so I actually end up losing pretty much all of my archers, but I still think it's worth it because I got so many villager kills, and now I am able to destroying him with the Amir Warriors here, and all of his archers need to be here trying to protect. He goes into a Cairo Siphon to try to destroy this, but the Amir Warriors are more than enough to protect that. And now I'm also going into Spearmen to protect my archers because he had so many horsemen from the Hippodrome. So now I think with one more healer elephant that should be coming pretty soon, I will be able to defeat his army. If you see up here, I am ahead by so much economy and so much army because of this raid right here. And now he has to go into these berries, which are very far and very inefficient in food gathering. He doesn't have any more sheep to gather from. He's still being very annoying in the back, but I have my spearmen here to defend. And right now, all I need to do is walk over to where his food sources are and get the killing blow. So right now, I think I'm waiting for a healer elephant, or I might have forgotten it. But my army, nevertheless, is way stronger than his. He's going into Varangian guards, which are pretty fine, but only 2 of them are not going to be enough. So my archers target his archers, and my spearmen defend me from the horsemen and the men at arms. And after that fight, he loses pretty much every unit he has, and he calls the game right there.